Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Pratibha, everyone. Try to see the last, good morning, Deepika. Try to see the last 10 minutes of the class. You must have written notes, right? So just go through it once for 2 minutes. Good morning, Sanjit. Okay, look here. This is the formula for magnetic flux. We have done this already in the previous chapter. So if there is a plane surface and there are magnetic field lines passing through the surface, and the plane surface is kept in such a way that the area vector, how do you draw area vector? Perpendicular to the surface. So if the area vector makes an angle theta with the magnetic field, then the magnetic flux is given by dA cos theta. Similar to which formula? Electric flux. How we used to write electric flux? EA cos theta. So for magnetic flux, BA cos theta. So this formula is clear, right? We have done this already. So I hope you are comfortable with this formula. Now, here I have mentioned what surface, look here, open surface. So it should be an open surface. Do you remember what will happen if the surface is closed? What will be the magnetic flux through a closed surface? Anyone remembers? Magnetic flux through a closed surface. It was zero. It is also called, if you remember, Gauss law in magnetism. Gauss law in magnetism. So please remember, whenever you calculate magnetic flux, it has to be open surface like this, open surface, okay, like a rectangle, circle, like that, but not a sphere, not a cube, not a cylinder. It should not be a closed surface. So this is something we should remember. Then Faraday and somebody called Henry did some experiments and they found something new which was not seen before. Faraday and Henry experiments. So some few experiments they did and they found some new observations which were not seen before. Okay, so the first thing is, one is called coil magnet experiment. Coil magnet experiment. Okay, so what they did was they took a coil. You can take some number of turns if you want, and they connected a galvanometer here. They connected a galvanometer. Right now, obviously, there will be no current because there is no EMF. There is no source of energy. So how can electrons suddenly flow, right? So right now there is no current because there is no EMF, no source of energy. But Faraday and Henry found that if you take a magnet, okay, students, whether you keep North Pole here or South Pole here, it doesn't matter actually. When you move the magnet towards or away, they found this needle deflects. If the needle in the galvanometer deflects, what does it mean, students? There is current in the circuit. This current is what we call induced current. Induced current. Why? Because it has been induced by the movement of the magnet. Why it will happen, we will study later. First, we are trying to understand what they observed, which was new to the whole world. Never anybody had observed like this. So whenever they move the magnet, they found there is current produced. Now current is induced in a closed circuit. That means there must be EMF in the circuit. So EMF is induced. EMF is induced, you can say, or you can say produced. So this was one experiment they did. Okay. Now, what is happening if you see carefully? What is happening is this magnet is producing magnetic field. Correct now? And when you move the magnetic field at this location, at this place, will change or not change? When you move the magnetic field will change or not change? In the location of the circuit, it will change, right? So it was the change in the magnetic field. It was the change in the magnetic field that was producing this EMF. So to produce magnetic field, you don't need actually magnets. You can use current also. Current produces magnetic field. We have studied in previous chapter. So another experiment they did, that is called coil-coil experiment. Coil-coil experiment. Okay, so what they did, one coil has galvanometer, okay, and another coil has a battery. Now battery has a constant EMF, you all know, right? So there will be a constant current that will flow. Constant current will flow here. This is due to this battery. Then you know that this current also will produce magnetic field. Right? So if you move the coil, here and here like this, they found this needle deflects. This needle deflects for the same reason here, because this coil which contains current will produce magnetic field. If you move the coil, magnetic field will change. And once magnetic field is changed, they found that there is EMF induced here. So here also EMF is induced. Another one, that is coil-coil experiment only. It is important that you move the magnet, students. If you don't, you move the coil. This coil you have to move. If you don't move the coil, then since the current is constant, magnetic field also will be constant. So if you move the coil, then the distance will change. Therefore, the magnetic field at this location, produced by this current, that will change. So it is important to move the coil. Second one is this part only, and that is like this. They took a coil with galvanometer and they took another coil with battery. Okay, but this coil was not moved. Now if you don't move the coil, then magnetic field will not change here. If magnetic field here will not change, they did not find any EMF. But every time they close the key, this showed momentary deflection. Momentary deflection. So what is happening? Can you think what is happening? When this was open, listen carefully. When this was open, what was the current here? Zero. Current here was zero. So what was the magnetic field produced here? No current, no magnetic field. So no magnetic field was produced here. Correct now? The moment they closed the key, that moment suddenly current will flow here. So suddenly there will be magnetic field here. So in this area, before there was no magnetic field, now there is magnetic field. That is change in magnetic field or not? Agree or not? I have no money, now I have money. So there is change in money. Agree or not? So the moment you close the key, there will be current flowing here. The moment current will start, here there will be magnetic field. So before closing the key, there was no magnetic field here. The moment you close the key, there is magnetic field here, which means magnetic field changed. Therefore, if magnetic field changed, then they observed there is current produced here. Why it is momentary? Because once you keep it closed and if you wait for some time, then current here will become constant. Once current is constant here, magnetic field produced here will be also constant. Once magnetic field is constant, there will be no EMF. Therefore, no current will be induced in this coil. Understood or not? So all this is showing what, students? All these experiments are showing that change in magnetic field in a given circuit, change in magnetic field in a given circuit produces EMF in the circuit, which results in current. Understood or not? Just let me know Y or N. No means I will explain once more. Understood? Okay. Another thing they found, look here. Once you keep the key closed, once you keep the key closed for some time, then you know current will flow and current will be constant after some time, right? So magnetic field produced here will be also constant. Produced by which current? This current. You know that current coil behaves like magnet, remember. Current also produces magnetic field like magnet. So this current is constant, this magnetic field is constant. Then what they found? After that, if you open the key, then also they found deflection, but in the opposite direction. Why it happened? Again, try to understand. Before there was constant current. When you open, suddenly when you open, what will happen? Current will become suddenly zero. If current here has become suddenly zero, magnetic field produced by this current will also become zero. That is also change in magnetic field. Agree or not? Before there was constant magnetic field. Now suddenly there is no magnetic field. So again magnetic field has changed momentarily. So during that small interval when magnetic field has changed, during that interval there will be a sudden deflection. Understood or not? Okay. So these things you can read in our EPL. These are the first things mentioned in our EPL. Okay, under this chapter, EMI. EMI stands for electromagnetic induction. So all these experiments which were done by Faraday and Henry, what they have shown something very important, and that is change in magnetic field produces EMF. I will write small e for induced EMF. We call this EMF induced EMF. And we write small e. Change in magnetic field. So this word is the most important word. If the magnetic field does not change, then you don't get EMF. But if it changes, as long as you move the magnet, as long as you move the coil which contains current, then you get induced EMF. If you don't move the magnet, then the galvanometer in the other coil does not deflect. So it is important that magnetic field changes. This is something very important. Okay, students? Now, second thing, this was not done by Faraday and all, but later people did more experiments. So they found that if you take a rectangular frame like this, rectangular conducting frame, and here you keep a slider. This is a slider. And you can put a bulb here. What is there? Bulb you can put. Now, if you move the slider, nothing will happen. But if, imagine, I apply constant magnetic field this way. How I can apply such magnetic field? Simple. Keep north pole of the magnet here, south pole of the magnet that side. So by one horseshoe magnet, north will be here, south will be here. So in this part, at least I can say the magnetic field is uniform. I know as you go away, it will start getting curved because magnetic field lines are actually closed loops. But for small area of the region, you can consider magnetic field is constant. So imagine there is a constant magnetic field. Now, when I move this slider this side with some velocity, it was found, students, that this bulb glows. Very, very surprising. For many people, it was like magic only. Some people actually earned money by doing this kind of experiments, by showing this as magic. Why magic? Because there is no battery. You don't see any source of energy. So obviously somewhere the energy has to come. We will discuss later. But try to understand, without any battery, students, we are able to glow the bulb. This is one of the most fascinating thing about this chapter. And we will decode everything. We will try to understand all those things. But don't worry, first you try to understand what is happening. When you move this rod, magnetic field is not changing, but this area is changing. Agree or not? This area is changing. Agree or not? Yes. So second observation was, when area in magnetic field, that is important. Okay, if magnetic field was not there and simply you change the area, then you don't get, the bulb will not glow. Magnetic field is important. So when area in magnetic field changes, then also we get induced EMF. That's why there is current. That's why the bulb is glowing. Third one, okay, you don't need to write this part. I will later on, we have to study this thing in detail. But I want to explain Faraday's law first. Now, the third observation is, if you take a rectangular loop like this, okay, students, and you can put some galvanometer here to detect any current, and let us say I keep north pole of one magnet here, south pole of one magnet here. I will not move the magnets, so magnetic field is not going to change. Magnetic field is constant here. And in this loop, there is no slider also. So area also I am not going to change. The area of the loop also I am not going to change, but I am going to rotate this. I am going to rotate this. So you can do that by, having some slider like this. So you can rotate this. This side you should have. Later we will see this. Later, don't worry. So if you rotate this with some angular speed, what is changing? Can you tell me? Area is not changing. Magnetic field is not changing. But what is changing? Angle is changing. Very good. This which angle? Angle made by area vector. This angle is changing. So when angle between area vector and magnetic field vector changes, then also this galvanometer deflects. Then also EMF is produced. Understood or not? Can you tell me, students, out of the tree which I told you, out of the tree, because of what are we getting electricity in our home? Because of what are we getting? First one, second one, third one. Abhishek is saying third one. What about other students? Tejaswini, this is just revision of the last class actually. Okay. So you just rotate the coil. When you rotate the coil, that time the angle between area vector and magnetic field vector will change. Yes or no? Tejaswini, if this is the area, then this is the area vector. When the plane changes, the area vector will also change. So as the direction changes, the angle between this area vector and this magnetic field will change. Correct? No? Yeah. So which one is used, as most of you told? The third one is used for generation of electricity. What happens is, somewhere water is falling. So we collect it in a dam. Then we open some window. Water will rush out. So that rushing water will rotate a turbine. When the turbine will rotate, that rotation will be passed to this coil. And when this coil will rotate, EMF is produced. Then using transformers, later we will study, you can transmit that energy, that electrical power, from one place to another place using transformers. Later we will study. Okay. Now, it is very boring to say, when this changes, we get EMF. When area changes, we get EMF. When theta changes, we get EMF. Instead of saying these three separately, we can combine these three in one quantity. And that quantity I showed you in the beginning of the class. What is that? Magnetic flux. VA cos theta. Understood or not? So if any one of them will change, magnetic flux will change. And when magnetic flux changes, we get EMF in a closed circuit. Now, listen carefully. Fine, we get EMF, but physics is not just literature. In physics, we are not only happy that we know EMF is produced. Next question is what? How much EMF is produced? How much volt? What is the volt? How much EMF is produced? So how much, once I say, what subject will come in picture? Mathematics will come, right? So for that, we need to relate some quantities. So what Faraday found was, if you have a coil and you have a galvanometer and magnet, if you move the magnet slowly, matlab to come from here to here, suppose you took time interval, let's say 5 seconds. Then as it is moving, magnetic field is changing. If magnetic field is changing, magnetic flux is also changing. So he found there is EMF, which will result in current. So some deflection is produced. Okay. Then he found if you move the magnet faster, let's say you took only 1 second, then he found that there is more deflection. What deflection? More deflection. If more deflection means what? More current. More current means what? More EMF. More EMF. In that chapter we wrote like this, remember, right? So more EMF is produced if you move the magnet faster. Matlab, the lesser the time you take, the more is the EMF produced. Agree or not? The lesser the time you take, the more is the the more is the EMF induced. Okay. So that is what we call Faraday's law. So let us start with statement of Faraday's law. Please write down Faraday's law. The magnitude of the induced EMF, for which I will write small e, is directly proportional to the rate of change. Rate word is important. So the faster you do, faster matlab what? More rate. If you score more runs in less overs, we say more run rate. So if your rate is more, which means you should take less time, more EMF is produced. More EMF. That's why it is directly proportional. So the magnitude of the induced EMF is directly proportional to the rate of change of magnetic flux. The magnitude of the induced EMF is directly proportional to the rate of change of magnetic flux. So this is your Faraday's law. Now you can make it more proper by saying the magnitude of induced EMF in a circuit is directly proportional to the rate of change of magnetic flux linked with the circuit. Because when we say EMF is produced, it is produced in some circuit, right? So if you want EMF to be produced in this circuit, let us say, then flux should change in this circuit, not in another circuit in Germany or somewhere. Okay, it should change in this circuit. So if magnetic flux in this circuit changes by changing either the area or the angle or the magnetic field, so if in some way, if you are able to change magnetic flux through a circuit you can say, or linked with a circuit, then EMF is induced in that circuit. And how it is related? It is proportional to the rate of change. So mathematically, how we will write? By the way, students, none of you asked me. I wrote here, if you see, what? Magnitude. That does not mean EMF is vector quantity. No, EMF is scalar quantity. I hope you remember the definition of EMF. Recently you have written midterm exam. So EMF is work done in a closed path per unit charge. And you know work done is a scalar quantity. It is dot product of force and displacement. So it is clearly EMF is scalar. But why I wrote magnitude? Because EMF can have direction. Matlab what, sir? Due to EMF, current can either flow this way or current can flow this way. Which way the current will flow? That depends on the EMF. But that is not given by Faraday's law. Faraday's law does not give you the direction of the induced EMF. It only gives you the magnitude of the induced EMF. Matlab 10 volt, 6 volt. It will not give you direction. Matlab whether it is plus or minus. For that we will use another law. So mathematically how to write? EMF magnitude modulus is directly proportional to the rate of change of magnetic flux. How will you write this? Let us say this is the change in magnetic flux. This is the change in the magnetic flux divided by the time taken. Okay? And you can choose in SI units. You can choose the units in such a way that whatever constant of proportionality comes, that you can take 1. So it will become delta phi by delta. Okay, units are chosen. Units are chosen such that the constant of proportionality is equal to 1. This is similar to, you remember, right? Newton's second law, we used to write force is proportional to rate of change of momentum. Force is proportional to rate of change of momentum, and then equal to 1. The constant we used to write as 1. We can do that because units, who decides units? We only decide units. So this is now your EMF. But I wrote what? Look carefully. Change in magnetic flux divided by change in time. Change in time matlab time taken. Time taken. So this is actually your what EMF? This is your average EMF in this interval. So in this interval, if you want to know the average EMF, this is the formula. Just remember the statement. See, you should know the story behind the formula. That is what I am doing right now. Nisarga, you used to say, no, sir, so formulas too many are there, difficult to remember. That is problem of all the students. But if you know the story behind the formula, it is very easy to remember. Now, if this is your average EMF, how will you write instantaneous EMF? Instantaneous EMF. Anyone? How we should write? No, formula. If this is delta phi by delta t, I should write d phi by dt. Okay, so this is the formula to use if you want instantaneous EMF. And this is the formula you use if you want average EMF. If EMF is constant, then it doesn't matter whether you calculate average EMF or instantaneous EMF, right? If all the students got same marks, if marks are constant, then it doesn't matter whether you talk about average marks or marks of one student, it will be same. Similarly, whether if EMF is constant, then it doesn't matter whether you want average EMF or EMF at one particular time. This is called EMF at one particular time. Done, students? Okay. Let us apply this formula for one small question so that you will be able to remember this formula. Okay. The magnetic flux Please write down the magnetic flux linked with a circuit changes according to some function which is like this. So this is the function, okay, according to which the magnetic flux changes with what variable? Time variable. Find EMF, induced EMF, let me write, induced EMF at t equal to 2 seconds. And if the circuit has resistance R equals to 10 ohm, find induced current at t equal to 2 seconds. So let us do it. Some of you may have done already because differentiation you are very good. By the way, look here. So here flux is given, right? Flux is given. And flux is given as a function. So when flux is given as a function, how will you find induced EMF? According to Faraday's law, what is EMF equal to? Rate of change of magnetic flux with respect to time. In language, we say like that. In mathematics, we write like this. That is the only difference. And I only want the magnitude. So if you take differentiation of this function, you will get 4t plus 1. Everybody agree? I am not going to do the differentiation. Differentiation of 2t square, 2 will come out. Differentiation of t square will be 2t, 4t plus differentiation of t with respect to t1. Differentiation of constant will be what? 0. So this will be 0. So that is your EMF. Then at t equal to 2 seconds, they are asking, what will be the EMF? 4 into 2 plus 1. Some of them I saw they are writing 4 into 3. This is 8 plus 1. 9 volt. Unit of EMF is volt only. And current, how to find? Second part, current. To find induced current, you use your Ohm's law. So EMF divided by resistance of the circuit. There is no internal resistance, no battery here. So 9 divided by 10, 0.9 amperes. Everybody clear about the differentiation part? Okay. Done, right? Okay. Now students, I'm going to do something little bit very much important for entrance exams. It is little important for board exams also. They may ask for 1 mark something. Now we are going to ask ourselves, how is current actually produced? How is current actually produced? How is current produced? Yes, I know when magnet is moving, Faraday has made a law. And the law says when magnetic flux changes, EMF is induced in the circuit. Let me repeat. When magnetic flux changes, EMF is induced in the circuit. So because of EMF, if the there will be current in the circuit, I equal to E by R. That we have understood. The law we have understood. Application also we understood. But we all know to get current in the circuit, electrons in the circuit has to be driven by some force. Agree or not, students? Without the force, how will they accelerate? Without the acceleration, how will there be drift velocity? Without drift velocity, how will there be current? Understood? No. So let us remember, when there was battery, there was positive charge on one rod, negative charge on other rod. So when you connect a resistor, this positive negative charge has electric field like this. So these electrons will feel a force in the opposite direction. So electrons will flow like this. If electrons will flow like this, current we will show this way. So it was because of the electric field produced by the charges in the rods of the electrodes of the battery. But here there is no battery. So let us try to understand this part carefully, okay? So this is note, under note you can write. Listen carefully all of you. Imagine this is your coil. I am keeping this way, okay? This way. That's just a wire loop. Nothing is there, okay? Wire loop. Now I have a magnet. When I move the magnet, I am getting current in this circuit. Now when you move the magnet, what happens? The magnetic field here. So let me show magnetic field lines like this. So this magnetic field is changing. And agree or not? As magnetic field changes, we are seeing current. We are seeing current. That is experimental fact. We don't need Faraday's law for that. You can try at home also. You will see current here. But to get current, we know electrons should be driven by a force. And that force can be either this or this. These are the only two forces that can act on the charge. Yes or no? Now, this is velocity of the charge. Our electrons do not have any particular velocity. Yes, they have some random velocity, but that is average is 0. So this cannot be the reason. For this case, this cannot be the reason. So it is 100% clear that the moment you move the magnet, magnetic field is changing. And the moment magnetic field is changing, these electrons are feeling a force. And that force, students, has to come from this electric field. There is no other way. Understanding or not? There is no other way. So this electric field has to come. But this electric field is completely different from the ones which we have studied till now. Till now, we have studied electric fields are produced by what? Please tell me, students. Till now, we have studied electric fields are produced by charges. So we call that electric field electrostatic field from today. From today, we will start calling it. You may have noticed, once this chapter started, I was calling that electric field electrostatic field like that. Lot of time I told. So that electric field we will call electrostatic field. And this electric field, which is produced by changes in magnetic field. No charges, changes in magnetic field. That electric field we are going to call induced electric field. Induced electric field. So that's why we need a new law. That's why we need a new law. Our existing laws cannot explain this. Understood or not? So let us write some few differences between electrostatic field and this induced electric field. Once you write the differences, it will be very clear in your head. But we know that there has to be electric field produced. And that electric field, students, will be like this. The electric field lines will be like this. Very surprisingly, it is what loop? This electric field line is what loop? Closed loop. Similar to magnetic field lines. So there are some differences between electrostatic field produced by charges and induced electric field produced by changes in magnetic field. So you have to start remembering it because it is a law. It has been found and we cannot run away from it. Ultimately, students, all this will lead us to, what? All this will lead us to what? It will lead us to this fact that light is an electromagnetic wave. So our aim one day is to reach here. That is where we are going. Okay, students. So remember, this is where we have to reach. And today we have reached some very important point to reach here. So let me quickly tell you some important differences between electrostatic field and induced electric field. Electrostatic field and induced electric field. The first difference is in the source. It is produced by charges. It is produced by static charges. This is produced by changes in magnetic field. So completely new source. Completely new source. So if magnetic field changes in a region, you get electric field. So from now on, try to remember that. Once magnetic field changes in a region, you get electric field. And if you put a circuit in the electric field, what will happen? The electrons will feel a force because of the electric field. So there will be current. So that's why there was current actually. Okay. Electrostatic field, I hope you remember the field lines. The field lines are open, right? If you remember dipole here, plus minus, it was like this, here like this, here like this, here. So it is not a closed loop. It is not a closed loop. Field lines are open. But this one is very interesting. Here the field lines are closed. The field lines are closed. Here, in case of electrostatic field, the field is, you remember conservative or non-conservative electrostatic field? Conservative or non-conservative? Conservative. Let me remind, some of you may have forgotten, no problem. Conservative means what? The work done to take the body from one point to the same point in a closed path should be zero. Now look here, electrostatic field lines are like this. Like this. It will not be closed loop. So if you move a positive charge this way, it will do positive work. This electric field will do positive work. But when you come this way, your displacement is in opposite direction of electric field. Understanding or not? So while going this way, the electric field will do positive work. While going this way, it will do negative work. So total work done in a closed path is zero for electrostatic field. So the field is conservative. The field is conservative. Here it is closed loop like this. So when you go this way, it will do positive work. When you go this way also, it will do what work? While going this way, it does positive work. While coming this way, it again does positive work. So this will be non-conservative. The field is non-conservative. That's why there is EMF, no? So for EMF, there has to be work done in the closed path. In case of battery, we had chemical forces, remember. So that chemical forces help you to get work done in the closed path. When you were using batteries, that time chemical forces was responsible for EMF. But here, it is entirely the induced electric field. So please remember this. In one of the CET exams, they have drawn this diagram. And they have asked, this field line can belong to electrostatic field, magnetic field, induced electric field, both induced electric field and magnetic field. What is the right answer? First one, electrostatic field. Second one, magnetic field. Third one, induced electric field. Last one, both magnetic field and induced electric field. So it is both. It can be magnetic field and induced electric field. Induced electric field. Okay. So if I don't teach these things, only if I teach Faraday's law and do only the board syllabus, You will not be able to answer this question, students. Writing part is done. Okay. One problem also we did. Now, it is good. Fine, sir. We understood that there is a new law which says when magnetic field changes, question is, they have shown some line like this in the question paper. This is in the question paper. They have asked, can this be electrostatic field? Can this be induced electric field? Can this be magnetic field? Or can it be both magnetic field and induced electric field? You know that magnetic field can be closed loop. So it can be magnetic field. Just now I told induced electric field lines are also closed loop. So it can be induced electric field also. It cannot be electrostatic field, no, Nisarga. Electrostatic fields are open loops. Open. Clear now? Okay. Now students, listen carefully. Till now we have understood that whenever magnetic flux changes, which can happen due to change in magnetic field, induced EMF is produced in the circuit. And that is because there is an induced electric field produced when magnetic field changes. Please remember that. Now the next question is, what about the direction? Will the current be produced this way or this way? That was not given by Faraday. That was given by Lenz. And we call it Lenz's law. Lenz law. Okay, it is one of the most human law. Human law. Don't write this in exam. Human law. This law will, will support human tendency. Let me explain what is this law. So first, let me write down. Please write down. Very important law. I will explain it. The polarity of the induced EMF polarity means plus minus or minus plus, like that. It is not good to write direction because it is not a vector quantity. The polarity of the induced EMF is such that it tends to produce a current which opposes, very important word, which opposes the change in the magnetic flux that produced it. It here means EMF. No need to draw this in diagram. This diagram in exam, no need. The polarity of the induced EMF is such that it tends to produce a current. EMF will try to produce current, yes or no? The polarity of the induced EMF is such that it tends to produce a current which opposes, what it opposes? The very change in magnetic flux that produced it. So whatever produced it, it opposes that only. Very human law or not? If you ask the young people, who produced you? Who produced you? Who produced me, for example? I think you are busy writing, no problem. Parents produced us. What do we do later in our life? We oppose parents only. Not all of you students. I'm simply trying to make it easy for you to remember. That's it. So parents produced us. That's bad. Yeah. So parents produced us and we oppose parents only. We oppose parents only, right? So this is very important to remember. Okay, so that way you can try to remember the polarity of the induced EMF. Who produced the induced EMF? Change in magnetic flux, agree or not? Who produced the induced EMF? Change in magnetic flux. What this EMF will do? This EMF will try to create a current which will oppose the magnetic flux itself, not magnetic flux, sorry, the change in magnetic flux itself. So this is something important. It opposes change in magnetic flux. And it has to be like this, students. If it is not like this, energy will not be conserved. You all have heard about law of conservation of energy. Energy cannot be created, energy cannot be destroyed. So in order to maintain that law, this is very important. If this is not followed, your law of conservation of energy will fail. So let me try to explain that part now. Writing part is done. Okay. Before I continue, little bit I will remind you. If current is here anti-clockwise, I should draw like this. Then this phase acts like north pole or south pole. Oi, anti-clockwise. It acts like north pole. Why? Because magnetic field lines will start like this, no? Magnetic field lines will start like this. So this phase acts like north pole, because from north pole magnetic field starts, outside at least, outside the magnet, magnetic field lines start from north. Similarly, if current flows clockwise, this phase acts like south pole. Like this you can remember. Draw one S and see these arrows how they follow. Draw one N and see how these arrows will follow. So try to remember this, it will be quite useful. Okay, now listen carefully. So imagine Lenz law and conservation of energy. Lenz law and conservation of energy. So listen carefully. Imagine I have a loop like this. Okay, wire loop, not current loop. No current is there right now. I have kept like this, students, like this. Then I have a magnet and I bring the knot of the magnet this way. One more question they will ask. They will draw this diagram in the question paper and they will ask, when seen from here, when seen from this side, when seen from here, what will be the direction of the current, they will ask, induced here. Understood or not? When you move the magnet, magnetic flux will change, we know here. When magnetic flux will change, EMF is produced. Therefore, current is produced. What will be the direction of the current, they will ask, when you see from this side. So how to find? Look here. We have to apply which law? Lenz law. Listen very carefully. When you bring this magnet like this, current is produced, right? So first ask yourself, what is the cause of induced current or induced EMF? The cause is change in magnetic flux. Now ask, why is the magnetic flux changing? Because knot is coming closer. So what will induced current do according to Lenz law? It will try to oppose whom? It will try to oppose change in magnetic flux. Correct? No. How is magnetic flux changing here? North is coming close. So how to oppose north coming close? By making this phase north. Agree or not? If this side becomes north, this north will be repelled by north. Agree or not? North and north repels, you remember? No. North and north repels, north and south attracts. South and south repels. So this side of the coil, this side, this face will behave like north pole, which means when you see from here, current will flow anti-clockwise. So current will flow here anti-clockwise. So this is your induced current. Okay, induced current. And that will be anti-clockwise when you see from here. This is the first possibility they can ask. Again, how to remember? Lenz's law you have to remember, students. Magnet is coming towards me. Now you have to check which face is coming towards me. North pole is coming towards me. So I have to induce current which will oppose the change. So the change here is north coming closer. So if north is coming closer, how to oppose? By making this face north. And how to make this face north? By making the current flow anti-clockwise. So basically what I'm trying to say is this north will produce magnetic field this way. And it is increasing. Why it is increasing? Because it is coming towards. So this magnetic field is increasing. So this flux is increasing. To oppose this flux, this induced current will try to create this flux, opposite flux. Artha, understood? So that is why this side will act like north. Understood, students? Okay. Please tell me if you have not understood after I rub. No, please don't tell me explain again like that, ma. It's a little difficult. Before I rub, you tell me 1000 times also, I will explain, no problem. Okay, now try to see where is conservation of energy here. Look carefully. The moment you try to move this, listen carefully. The moment you try to move this, you are getting current here. And according to Lenz's law, this phase should become north. If this phase will become north, this will feel force repulsion. So the person who is pushing it, the person who is moving this, has to do work against this force. Agree or not? If you want to move a heavy stone up, you have to do work against gravity. Correct or not? So the person who is moving this has to apply some external force. And therefore, he is doing work. And if he is doing work, he is losing energy or gaining energy. If he is doing work, he is losing energy or gaining energy? Losing energy. And that energy, students, is what goes into the electrical energy. So the energy spent in moving the magnet is transformed into electrical energy in the coil. Which coil? This coil. Understood? For example, if you put a bulb here, the bulb will glow. Glowing bulb is an example of energy. Energy is released. Heat, light. Correct? No. So somebody has to be responsible for that energy. And it is this person who is doing work against the repulsion. So that is how so beautifully Lenz's law agrees with conservation of energy. For example, while moving this, suppose this became south. Then what will happen? This will be what? Attracted or repelled? Attracted. If it is attracted, then what it means? I will leave it. Then that attraction will move the magnet, and that attraction will move the magnet, and the magnetic flux will change, and current you will get. So you will get current without anybody losing energy. That is nonsense. In physics, that does not happen. So you cannot get electricity without spending energy, remember. So even in the generator, somebody is moving the coil. No, somebody is moving the coil. It's not like Pankaj sir will rotate the coil. water is collected. So the kinetic energy of the water is converted to potential energy. Then potential energy of water is converted into rotational kinetic energy of the turbines. Then that is converted into electricity, electrical energy. Okay. Now the second, this is one part. Another part could be, here is your coil. This you tell fast. Okay. So I have a magnet, not only here, south only here. But this time, students, I will move north away from the magnet. So this is towards the magnet, towards the coil. This is away from the coil. Now, when you move the magnet away, then also magnetic field here will change. Whether you bring the magnet close or far, magnetic field will change. So magnetic field here will change. Magnetic flux will change. Faraday will say EMF will be induced. So current will be flowing. But in what direction? That is given by Lenz's law. In that direction it will flow so that it opposes the change. Opposes word you please keep in mind. Opposes. So right now what is happening? North is going away. If someone is going away, how will you oppose? By attracting or by repelling? If someone is going away from you, how will you oppose that? By repelling him? No, if you repel him, so it will go more far from you. So you have to attract. So now this will try to attract. So this will behave like south. If north is going away, so current will flow this way, as seen from here. Okay, that is important. That is important. So this south will attract the north. So against that attraction, whoever is trying to move this magnet, he has to do work. So here, how will the current flow? Clockwise. Other two, everybody should try. South, you keep south here, bring south closer. If you bring south closer, this space will act like south or not? If you bring south closer, this space will act like S or N? South. And if you take south away, then this space will act like north. So basically, the induced current will flow in such a way that it will oppose the change in the magnetic flux. So if magnetic flux is increasing, it will try to decrease it. If it is decreasing, it will try to increase it. And if it is constant, then what it will do? If it is constant, then neither it will try to increase it, nor it will try to decrease it. Matlab, there will be no EMF. There will be no induced current. So induced current will only come when magnetic flux tries to change. If it is increasing, induced current will flow to try to decrease the flux. And if the flux is decreasing, induced current will try to increase the flux. Other two, please draw yourself. It is simple only. Okay. Let me discuss one extra question. Look carefully, students. Few cases we will study, and these cases will really help us to understand. Imagine there is a circular coil, no current right now. Let me name the coil C. And here I have a straight wire carrying a current I. Okay, students. Let me say this current is constant. Now listen carefully. They will ask you, what is the direction of induced current here? Induced current. Why will there be induced current? Let us check. This current will produce magnetic field. This one you remember or not? If current is going this side, magnetic field will produce, right? Here it will be inside the board, but my loop is here. So it will be out of the board. So magnetic field produced by this will be out of the board. Okay. This is produced by this. Understood this much, students? this current will produce magnetic field here out of the board. Okay. Right hand thumb rule you use, my right hand thumb rule. So here it will be out of the board. Now they told current is constant. If current does not change with time, will magnetic field change? No. What is the formula for magnetic field due to straight wire? Already you have studied. Mu naught I by 2 pi r. Correct? No. So since if current is constant in time, magnetic field will be also constant. If magnetic field is constant, area is constant, magnetic flux will be also constant. So what will be the induced current? What will be induced current if flux is constant? 0. Because formula for EMF induced is d phi by dt. Correct? No. So if flux is constant, derivative of constant you know is 0. So in this question, there will be no induced current. In this question, there will be no induced current in this loop. Second question. Listen carefully because third and fourth you will have to do. Second and third I will do. 4 and 5 you have to do. Suppose I say this current is increasing. Is increasing. Listen carefully now. If this current is increasing, this magnetic field will also increase. So there has to be induced current now because flux will change now. Flux is changing now. So there will be induced current either this way or this way. Which way it will be? Apply Lenz's law. What Lenz's law says? The direction of induced current will oppose the change in magnetic flux. Here, what is the change? The change is this magnetic field is increasing. So to oppose this vector, magnetic field is a vector, remember. So to oppose a vector which is increasing this way, what you should do? You should produce a vector this way. So you have to produce induced magnetic field. This is induced magnetic field this way. Now how will you get this induced magnetic field? If your current flows this way. Agree or not? If current flows like this, then magnetic field will be this way, right? So current should flow this way. This way matlab this is your induced current. So the red ones you have to find. Even this one you have to find. They will give only this in the question. Understood everyone this part? Right? Exactly the way I have done. Then it will be useful, easy to understand. So when this current will increase, this magnetic field will increase. This magnetic field. So to oppose a vector which is increasing this way, you should create another vector this way so that it will subtract. And to create this magnetic field, you need current this way in this loop. Okay. Now same question. Same question. Suppose I say current is decreasing. Okay, so this, but direction is same only. Direction is same. 10 ampere, 8 ampere, 6 ampere, 2 ampere, like that. So current is decreasing, but direction is this way only. So since current is this way, magnetic field produced by this current will be out of the board. This is due to this current, correct na? This is decreasing, so this will also decrease. Now, if magnetic field is decreasing, magnetic flux through this loop will decrease. Decrease is also change, so current will be induced. In what direction? Now look carefully. This magnetic field is decreasing. It is decreasing, students. It is becoming weaker. How will you oppose somebody becoming weaker? By helping it or by beating it more? By helping it. By helping matlab what, sir? In vectors. By helping matlab by producing another vector in same direction. So you should create the induced current. The induced current will try to create magnetic field in the same direction. So induced magnetic field should be this way. So current should flow this way. This will be your induced current. Okay, so that this is anti-clockwise, no? Yeah, that was clockwise. So I hope everybody understood this nicely. Remember, this magnetic field is decreasing. So this is decreasing. To oppose something which is decreasing, you have to produce it in the same direction, right? So it is not like the induced current does not want you to increase. It does not want you to change. That's it. If it is increasing, it will try to oppose that. If it is decreasing, it will try to oppose that. It is like one character in Mahabharata. One character was there, I forgot his name. He was given such a power that he will play with that team, which team is losing. So let's say Kauravas and Pandavas are fighting, and let's say Kauravas are losing. Then he will go to the losing side. Once he will go to losing side, he is very powerful. So now Pandavas will start losing. Once Pandavas will start losing, he will go to Pandav side. Then he will fight again Kaurav. So basically, he doesn't allow you to increase. He doesn't allow you to win. He doesn't allow you to lose. Super, barbaric it was. And Krishna, no, he did some tricks, I think he did, and he did not allow this barbaric to participate. He cut his head and put it in some stadium to watch the fighting, but he was not allowed to see, or not to see, to participate. So something like that you can think. Now, other one you have to try today itself. This current is increasing. You have to tell me the induced current here. And this current is decreasing. What is the change in this question and this question? What is the difference between this question and this question? Only the direction of this current, right? I have made the current this way. So you have to do this way. So this will produce magnetic field this way, increasing. This will produce magnetic field this way only, but decreasing. More I will not do, otherwise no, I will end up doing myself only. So try it. If you don't get tomorrow's class, you tell me, I will do it. But you know, once you know here, you will know here also, opposite to this. Sanjay, at home I told you to do. Sanjay was also one character, okay, in Mahabharata. I don't think he did too much. He was like some satellite communication he did. He was like the TV to explain whatever is happening in the battlefield. Correct, Sanjay? Writing the question is done. Question part is done. Please do it. Don't forget. Now, we will write Faraday's law. If somebody will ask you in exam, write Faraday's law mathematically, then you have to write this way. Faraday's law in its exact form, we write like this. E equals to minus d phi by dt. Okay, students, and this minus sign, negative sign, is due to Lenz's law. Due to Lenz's law. Matlab, the polarity of this induced EMF, direction word please don't use. For current you can use direction. For EMF, better to use polarity. So the polarity of the induced EMF will be such that it will oppose the change in the magnetic flux. So for that, we have put a minus sign just to differentiate it between whether it opposes the change or it helps the change. Our EMF always opposes the change, remember. Change, okay? Not, it does not oppose only increase. It opposes increase also, it opposes decrease also. So with minus sign, you have to write. Again, for calculation purpose, don't worry about this minus sign, because calculation purpose, we want to know how much is the EMF. So that time you can take modulus. In the remaining some few minutes which we have, let us at least solve one problem so that you guys will be comfortable in using this formula. So take out your material. Everyone. Study material, okay, not transcend. So see numerical exercise 6.1. By the way, students, whatever homework I have given, that you please try. See numerical exercise 6.1. Question number 1. A square loop of side 10 centimeter and resistance 0.70 ohm is placed vertically in the east-west plane. A uniform magnetic field of 0.10 Tesla is produced across the plane in the northeast direction. So let us draw. Let us say this is east, this is west, this is north, and this is south. First of all, how they have kept the loop? The loop is kept vertically. Vertically means like this here, because this is clouds. Clouds are here, remember, clouds are here. So the loop is kept vertically in the east-west plane. So you have to imagine the loop like this. So this is your loop. Okay, students, you will not be able to see the full loop. You understood? No? Like this I am keeping, like this I am keeping. So you will see only this part. Okay. And a uniform magnetic field is set up across the plane in northeast direction. So where should be magnetic field? Northeast means where it should be here. So magnetic field is here. Okay, students? First, what they are saying, the magnetic field is decreased to 0. So whatever was the value before, now the magnetic field is decreased to 0 in 0.70 seconds at a steady rate. Determine the magnitude of the induced EMF and current during this interval. Very simple. So let us calculate the initial flux, because we have to calculate change in flux. So initial flux, phi1, magnetic flux, okay? Initial magnetic flux. What is the formula? dA cos theta. Now, if the plane is like this, area vector will be here. Agree or not? If the plane is like this will be your area vector. So the angle between area vector and magnetic field is how much, friends? 45 degree. 45 degree. What is the value of magnetic field? Value of magnetic field is 0.1. Area of a square, you can write side square. Side square means 10 centimeter. Side is 10 centimeter. So 0.1 meter. So it is 0.1 square. Because it is a square. If they give circle, no, pi r square you write, na. Theta is 45 degree. The flux will be 1 by root 2 into 10 power minus 3. What is the unit of magnetic flux? Tesla meter square. Tesla meter square. That we say Weber. Weber. We write W. So unit of magnetic flux should be Tesla meter square, which we write Weber. Sorry. W, if you write no, watt will come. SI unit of power. So this is your initial flux. What will be your final flux? Magnetic flux. Anybody quickly? Final magnetic flux according to question. What they told? The magnetic field is decreased to zero, they told. Magnetic field is decreased to zero. If magnetic field is becoming zero, flux will also become zero. Okay, now, and what is the time interval they took? I have here, no, time interval. 0.7 seconds. That is your time interval. Yeah. So, diagram is done. Okay. So, first they want magnitude of EMF. That is change in flux divided by change in time. No need to write d phi by dt. See, d phi by dt is differentiation. Differentiation will be useful when you know the function. Here function we don't know. Here we know initial value and final value. That's it. So change in flux by change in time. What is the change in flux? In magnitude only. Since it is only magnitude, I will write the bigger one first. Okay, students, since it is magnitude, bigger one, I will write first. So this is bigger one. So it will be phi 1 minus 0. Let me put the values. Change in flux will be 1 by root 2 into 10 power minus 3 divided by time taken. Time taken is 0.7. 1 by root 2, I think is 0.707. 1 by root 2, I think it is 0.707. Check once. Divided by 0.7. Correct? No. So what will be the answer? 1.01 into 10 power minus 3 volt. Correct? 1.01, which you can write nicely in what units? Millivolt. Millivolt. So this is your EMF produced in the circuit, in the square loop. Second part, they are asking the current. For current, you need to know resistance. So induced current EMF divided by resistance. EMF is 1.01 into 10 power minus 3 divided by, what is the value of resistance of the loop they told? 0.7 only. So please do the calculation yourself, students. How much it is coming if you divide? 1.01 divided by 0.7 divided by 0.7. 1.42, right? 43 I can make it into 10 power minus 3. So this much current you are getting. Second question let us do, last question for today. In the second question, they are saying a circular coil of radius 10 centimeter, 500 turns, and resistance 2 ohm is placed with its plane perpendicular to the horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field. So if this is your horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field, they are keeping the circle in such a way that the plane is kept perpendicular to this. So you have to keep it this way. Okay, you have to keep it this way. So this is your magnetic field. Area vector will be in the same direction. Area vector will be in the same direction. Okay, students. So what is the radius of this? Let us say R. Radius is given 10 centimeter, which you can write 0.1 meter. Resistance, oh, let us write smaller. Let us write smaller. Because resistance also is given, no? So resistance is given 2 ohm. Number of turns is 500. Now what they are doing, if it is rotated about vertical, about this line, if it is rotated by 180 degree, in what time? 0.25 seconds. What is the magnitude of the EMF they are asking and the current? So at least let me write the formula. Calculation part you try. So again same story. Calculate the initial flux. Initial magnetic flux. Okay, so it will be BH. Why BH? Because BH is perpendicular to the plane. Correct, na? So it is parallel to the area vector. BV will be here. This magnetic field will not result in flux because it is passing parallel to the surface. Right, students? Okay. So BHA cos 0. So BHA. So that is your initial magnetic flux. What about final magnetic flux? Phi 2. That will be BHA cos how much? If you rotate this by 180 degree, your area vector will be that side now. If you rotate by 180 degree, area vector will be this side. So what will be the angle between area vector and magnetic field vector? 180. Correct or not? So this will become minus BH into A. Time interval, how much they have given? Time interval they have given 0.25 seconds. So how to find the first part? First part is EMF magnitude. Change in flux divided by change in time. Magnetic flux. Okay, students, don't forget. So this is bigger, so I'll subtract this one with this one. Okay, so it will be phi 1 minus phi 2 divided by delta T. It is modulus. You can write phi 2 minus phi 1, no problem. Actually, change means final minus initial, I know that. But modulus we want, no modulus. So it will be BHA minus BHA will be plus BHA divided by time interval. So everybody understood why this minus became plus? Yes or no? Actually, this is minus, I know. So when you take modulus, it will become 2 BHA divided by delta T. And how will you write area? Oh, students, what we have missed? What we have missed? When I wrote this magnetic flux, what we have missed? Quickly tell me. While writing the magnetic flux, number of turns we have missed. N, 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 N. So here will be N, N, N. So this will be twice N BHA. So twice N BHA. A what it will be? Pi radius square divided by delta. Substitute the values, we will check tomorrow. Okay, don't worry. Thank you. Try to see how much you get. After this, you divide by the resistance, you will get the current. Writing part is done. Let me keep it like this for some time. Thank you.